Right, so we will start the class today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the International Artificial Intelligence and Analytic Webinar Series. It is a collaborative program between Telkom University Indonesia, University Technology Mara Malaysia, and Premier Digital Technology Institute or MDEC from Malaysia. And hopefully all of you are in a good health today. And well, my name is Novi, and I will be the chairperson for today's session. And joining us today, our excellent speakers, Associate Professor Dr. Angelina Prima from Telkom University, and organizer or committee from the International Artificial Intelligence Analytic Webinar Series. So good afternoon. And also, we would like to welcome all of you, students from Telkom University Indonesia, University Technology Mara Malaysia, and Premier Digital Technology Institute Malaysia, and also other participants from other universities who are joining us today. So welcome. Welcome to the third session of the International Artificial Intelligence and Analytic Webinar Series. And our topic today is process mining. But before we start our presentation session, so let me tell you the basic rule for today's session. So everyone, during the speaker's presentation, kindly turn off your microphone. And for those who want to ask a question during the presentation, please drop your question in the feature of chat, and we will follow up your question in a discussion session. And then participants who want to ask who want to deliver question, you can ask directly to our speakers, or maybe you can type your question in the chat box. And then at the end of the session, we will have a photo group session. So please turn on your camera during the photo session. All right, everyone. The speakers who will deliver the material is in our Zoom now. She is Associate Professor Dr. Angelina Prima from Telkom University School of Computing. And her research interest is in data science, data mining, information system, and process mining. Besides, Associate Professor Dr. Angelina Prima currently serves as Head of Department of Institutional Planning, Development, and Control at Telkom University. So without further ado, so please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Angelina Prima. Okay, please, and the screen is yours, Miss.
All right. Thank you, Novi, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me share my screen. Thank you for having me today in this webinar series in the third session. I'm Angelina. I'm from the School of Computing, Telkom University. I'm very happy and pleased to introduce you to process mining today because I also deliver this topic in my class in the process mining subject this semester. So a little bit introduction about myself already done by Bu Novi. A little bit addition maybe is about my background. I did my bachelor degree at Telkom University in 2005 in the field of data mining. So it's very close to the topic of this webinar today. And then I got my master degree in 2010 in information quality. It's a little bit different from my bachelor degree topic, but it's still connected in the term of I'm still working around the information system. And then in my doctoral degree, I did my research in process mining and healthcare. So this topic today is very close to my heart, to my study, my last topic in the doctoral degree, where I did implementation of process mining in a hospital in the UK, in Leeds Hospital. And that's part of what I want to tell you today. And then I also did some projects and still doing that for now as well around process mining in different fields, in healthcare, in education, also in audit and other implementations. I will explain to you more later. But before that, I want to tell you that today we will explore and we will introduce process mining, the definition first, and then some methods and tools, but I will only will tell you the basic ones, and then some case studies to give you illustration on what we can do with process mining. And then I will show you some demo about how to use process mining in Disco. Disco is the name of the tool that is very simple to learn process mining for beginners. And then last one, we will see that there are a lot of communities and other supports that you can find when we work with process mining. All right, this is the simple outline. And before that, I want to know your expectation for this course. So I would like to invite you to go to Menti and tell me what is your expectation for this course. This is just a simple quiz or just simple questions, a couple of questions to get me to know you more. Do you know what is process mining and what do you want to get from this course? Okay, while waiting, maybe I will try to open Menti from my side. I will also copy the link in the chat box so everyone can go to this Menti and answer the questions. Okay, you can go to menti.com and then I will present from my side. I'll stop share first. Okay, so this is the page that we can see together. I want to know what is your expectation today, and 6 participants already joined this question, and you already answered that you're looking to learn a lot. You want to discuss the subject, just want to have fun, that's good, and you want to ace the test. But I will tell you that there's no more test in the end of this course, so maybe just some questions to conclude what we have learned today. Okay, so I think we are now have 39, maybe minus 3, around 35, maybe 35 participants. So we expect no less than 30, I guess. But I think I can come back to this, and we can see the second question is, what do you know about the subject? Nothing good. Mining is collecting data using GPU that will be stored somewhere in the blockchain. Okay, we will work on that. Now we have 13 responses. Still waiting. You can also answer the second question if you're already done with the first one, because you can see that only 3 people answering the second one, but we already have 14 participants answering the first one. Okay. It's safe to say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 responses says that you know nothing about process mining. But after I introduce to you, maybe you will consider, did you actually know nothing about process mining, or did you actually know a little bit about it, but you can build up to improve your understanding. Okay, can we have some more comments for the second question? Mining is the process of verification transaction. Okay, that's good. Anyone else? Do you know what is process mining, or do you know what is this subject about? Process of extracting information. Okay, I haven't really know what is process mining. Okay. All right. All right, without further delay, I think I will start with the real discussion about process mining. If we see the result of this short survey, most of you saying that you don't know anything about process mining. That's why we will start with the very beginning. So don't worry if you know nothing about process mining. We will discuss from the very beginning about process mining. From the literature, we know that process mining is a data science approach. So it's still close to data science. If you know data science, if you know how to analyze data, then you're not far from process mining, but with a strong business process view. If you come from computer science like me, most likely we know a little bit about process science, but we know a lot about data science. That's why if you come from the technical side or from the data science side, we have to learn more about process science. But the other way around, if you learn a lot about process, business process, about process modeling, process analytics, then you are also halfway to process mining. You have to improve how to analyze data, how to implement data science, to know more about the business process that we are analyzing. That's why it is said that process mining is in between these two disciplines, process science and data science. If you know a lot about machine learning, about data mining, AI, and other things that related to data analytics, then we have to add our understanding about business process management. Because what we are trying to do in process mining is we want to analyze the data that is recording the process execution. If you know that institution or organization implement information system in their daily processes, then we know that those information system will record a lot of things regarding the process. That's what we want to learn. That's what we want to explore to understand the business process, but not like we are trying to create our own understanding of business processes, but we learn from the data. That's the difference between process mining compared to process visualization or to business process modeling in general. That's why we know both sides. We have to know how to do data analysis, but we have also need to know what are business processes and how to analyze them. All right, this is the simple explanation about process mining. And then in the literature, you will find this person a lot because he is the one who coined the term process mining for the first time around 2009 or 2010. And he said, Professor Will van der Alp says that process mining techniques help us to analyze data with the point of view of process through automated process discovery, conformance checking, and model enhancements. And these three tasks are the main tasks in process mining: process discovery, conformance checking, and enhancement. So if we are talking about process mining, we are not talking about main tasks in data mining in general, like classification, clustering, association, not like that. But we are focusing on process discovery, conformance checking, and model enhancement. If you see from the terms itself, it says that we focus on the process. So we want to discover what is the process behind the data. And then we want to check the conformance of our model to the event log to our data, and also how to improve or how to enhance the model that we got from analyzing the data. Okay, this is what I talked to you about before. If we know an institution or an organization that have some business processes, then they do their process through machines. They are applying some information system, software system to help them doing their job. Then we know that inside these information systems, we can find records of events, meaning that every time the user click something in the information system interface, then it will be recorded what time someone doing something. Then those records can be collected and can be formed into event log. After we have event log, then we can do the three main tasks of process mining: process discovery, conformance checking, and then we can also try to improve or enhance our process model to help us improving the business process or improving the software system. This is the side tasks that we are handling during our analysis in process mining. It started with the organization, with the real business processes. Then we learn from the software system, the records of events. We created the event log. Then we can find what process is actually happening behind those data. Right? And then this is the more technical illustration about the data that we were talking about in the information system. As I mentioned before, we can see what happened in a specific time done by someone and what is done by this person. So we have the case ID, we have the activity name, we have the timestamp. This is the least three components of the event log that we can use to analyze processes. If we notice, then we can understand what happened over time and then who did that. Another example is in the healthcare domain, in patient treatment. We can define the case ID from the patient ID, and then the activity name is what is happening or what treatment is given to the patient, and then the timestamp and who did the treatment to this patient. We can also add other data if we want to analyze more. And then in process mining, the first task was process discovery, right? Then from this data, what we are trying to do is what happened or what is the process happening behind this data. If we have a lot of records like this, then we can create our process model. For example, something like this, where the first one, there is a register request, and then examine causality, examine thoroughly, check ticket, decide. There are three different results: reinitiate request, reject request, or pay compensation. Then this is the end. So this is a simple illustration of what is the input and what is the output. You might ask, what is the process behind that? So this is the process mining. This is the analysis that we are doing with process mining. Can be helped by tools, can be done manually. It's up to you, as long as you can move or you can transform this data into this process model, then that's it. This is process mining. The first task in process mining. Then what happened next after I have this process model? We can analyze, I have 6 different case IDs. And then we have different response or different activities after a request is registered. We can examine casually or examine thoroughly, maybe depend on what is the input or what is the request that is registered. Then after this examination, we can check the ticket. Then there will be a decision. Should we reinitiate the request? Should we reject? Should we pay compensation? And then done. So this is the simple analysis on how it has been done like this. If we create the process modeling manually, sometimes we think that the procedure or the steps might be linear. One activity goes to the other activities, all do it in sequence, but the real data showing us that there is not very linear. There are some branches, there are some conditions where the ideal steps is not done as it is. So this is how we can use our findings in process model to improve the process that we are analyzing. Okay, this is more detail about the event log. We already mentioned 3 main part of the event log are case ID, and then activity and timestamp. If you have more, yes, you can add more. You can add the resource information, for example. You can have the cost for each activity. Then we can analyze more about, for example, for each case, what are the total costs and what is the average, what is the maximum, minimum, and etc. Yeah. Okay. After that, after we have the event log, after we analyze the event log and we discover the process, then we can do a lot of things after that. We have the model, then we can do conformance checking to check the accuracy or the similarity between the model and also the records in the event log. Then we can diagnose, for example, in this case, we can find that if this is the ideal path, then we know that there is one request that is not examined casually. That is examined thoroughly, maybe because we are having something suspicious about the request, then we want to check in more details. So we have one exception for this activity to go to the examination that is more complete than the casual one. We can diagnose like that. We can check on every step of the way, every step of the process, what is happening, how many exceptions happen to this sequence of activities, and then what to do about that. Is it okay to do it like that, or is it not acceptable actually in the real world? Then we can suggest or recommend improvements to the process owner. And then we can also enhance process models. You can imagine if we have 100,000 or maybe millions of records here, maybe our model will be too complex. What we can do about that is we will need to check what is the general path. Then after we found that, we will improve. We will add more exceptions, more acceptable branches from this process. Okay. Then I have a short video, but I think I have to stop share first, then I will reshare with checking the, what do we call it? The sound from this computer. Okay. Please let me know if you can hear the sound or not.
This is Will. Will is the owner of a supermarket.
Is it audible, Bunafi?
Yes,
okay.
it's audible.
Oh, that's good.
This is Will. Will is the owner of a supermarket. In the initial days, the supermarket has less customers and runs smoothly without any issues. But as the supermarket grows, the customer demands increase, leading to slow delivery and duplicate orders. Will knows that there is a back-end system in his supermarket that creates an entry every time there is an activity occurring within the supermarket. Even though he has sufficient data, he doesn't understand how the processes inside the supermarket work and fails to figure out the bottlenecks in the system, leading to the revenue sink and customer dissatisfaction. Will then decides to apply process discovery on the data that is stored in the backend system. Using process discovery techniques, Will understands that there are several processes that are running in parallel which could be causing duplicate orders, leading to delay in the delivery. Once he understands the execution paradigm of the process using process discovery, Will can then use conformance checking and other process mining techniques to find deviations between the actual process and the reality. Process mining can be applied to solve a variety of problems.
Okay, I have to stop that. But we already see the illustration. It's definitely related to what we discussed before. But this is in the form of in the different domain, right? This is the retail, where the owner of the store have the event log with 3 minimum components. Then if we design the model, maybe we have something like this, something that is very linear, because we expect that everything is done smoothly in sequence, from creating list, then check warehouse, send request, delivery, done. But actually, after we have the data, the historic data of maybe several months, then we can inspect that something else is happening. The creating list, the activity of creating list sometimes have to be done several times. Then we have to check warehouse over and over again. Then we will need to send requests, but then we have to recheck the warehouse and send another request to make sure that everything is okay. Something like that happen in the real world. That is what we are trying to capture from the data in the form of event log. Then after that, we can analyze and we can recommend what happened or what to do by the process owner to improve their process. Okay? I hope by this point, it's already clear for you what we can do with process mining and what we need in the beginning of the analysis in process mining, which is the event log. All right. If we learn more about process mining, there are so many suggested methodologies. One of them is this one, PM Square, or process mining project methodology. This is actually helping us to do our analysis in sequence in a structured manner. First one, we have to plan what do we need to do with the data, why do we need process mining to analyze this data, who will be benefited from the results, and where can we find the data. The last one, about where we can find the data, is sometimes not in the form of event log. So if you go around the city, you ask everyone who have businesses, who do anything, you can ask them, do you have event log? They will definitely say, no, we don't know what is event log, something like that. But if you see their data, you might find the case ID, the activity, and the timestamp, at least these 3 components. If you can find that, then you can do the extraction, the next step, and you can create your event log based on the data that they have from the information system that they use. Then we will process the data. It depends on what is the research question that you identify in the planning step. If you have more than only the sequence of activities in the process, then you can have more columns added to the data, to the event log. For example, before we talk about cost column that we can add to the event log that we have. Then the next step is the main part. When we do process mining and process analysis, we apply process discovery, conformance checking, enhancement, and then we analyze what is the result of the process. Then after that, we will evaluate to make sure that everything that we are doing is correct. We can have valid process models, and then we can suggest improvement or recommendation to the owner of the process. Sometimes when we do the evaluation, we found that we have more questions. We have more research questions that is needed to be answered through another loop or another iteration of data processing or process mining. That's okay. You can go back to the previous step. But if you think that everything questions in the beginning of the process has been answered, then you can stop doing the evaluation, you can stop doing the iteration, go to the process improvement and support. Okay, And then, this is only one of the methodologies that we can apply to process mining. But if you read more literatures, then you will find a lot of more methodologies suggested. They sometimes improve some parts of these steps to help us know more about the process from the data. If you start to learn about process mining, don't worry that there are a lot of tools that you can use, that you can try to help you doing process mining. One of them that we will explore more today is DISCO, that is proposed by Fluxicon. And this is quite simple, but there are also other tools that is simple too. You can try Celonis, you can try PM4PY that is based on Python, Bupar that is based on R, and then Prom. This is a framework that has a lot of functions that you can choose from the framework itself. So there are lots of tools in process mining. So this is not something that's very new, no, but you can choose a lot of one or two tools from a lot of options here. We will focus on the DISCO today. We will try and we will see how it works in process mining. But before that, we will learn about different case studies that might be applicable to analyze with process mining. In process mining, we learned that we can do process discovery, conformance checking, and also a lot of things that we can improve or enhance from the process. We can check what happened to the process, what are the good standards of doing the process, and then we can optimize the process by identifying gaps between what is expected from the process with what is recorded in the data. Then we can also do identification of automation. If you heard about robotic process automation, it is actually coming from this side where we can identify which part from the process that can be done automatically. Then we will create a robot or a system that help us doing that without any people working behind it. Then we can do process simulation, process monitoring, and also we can focus on who is doing the process, who is doing or working behind each activities in the process, and then what can we improve about these people. Process mining has also been applied in many domains. What I'm focusing on is healthcare, but we are also working in education. We can also do in transportation and production and sports. That as long as we know a process in this domain, and then we know that there are so many activities happening inside the process, we can have the data to support this process, then we can analyze using process mining and we can get some insights about the process from the data. This is one of the case study that we were working on. We work on the evaluation of user experience on the peer-to-peer lending application. This was done by one of my students, and this has been implemented in a bank where he did the same thing like we explained before. So we got the process model, process map, then he compared this to the standard operating procedure, the service level agreement. They check duration that is expected from each activity here. Then he compared what happened in the data through process mining with the suggested procedure. Then we found a lot of differentiation, a lot of changes happen in the system during the design until the system has been used by the users. So in this application of peer-to-peer lending, we found that one step is about face recognition, and there are lots of face recognition failure that makes the user, the customer, don't want to continue their application. This is the first one. And then the second one, we still found that many applications has been rejected in this process. There are also many waiting for email verification. So one step of the lending application is to send email verification. The customer have to check their email and they have to click something in the email. And this has been proven from the data that a lot of customers stop in this step, maybe because they cannot find the email in their inbox, so they cannot continue their process. There is also finding about the long approval, where the pending offer to loan expired is taking so long, so that the application is not continued to the next step. And the other one, the last one, is sending OTP code from Privy often fails. The next one, the next case study in process mining was done in education. This was done in our LMS, in our Celo. If you are from Telkom University, then you know that we have a strong LMS, we would like to say that. Then we can get the event log. Once again, I said, if you see this record from the web log, you might not notice this, that we can create event log from here. But after more detailed analysis, you can find which one would be the activity, which column would be the date, and etc. Then you can have event log from this LMS. After that, we analyze using Disco and prompt, simple analysis, and we found there are many patterns that we can learn from the LMS. So we know how the students are usually using LMS for their study. Do they start with reading courses first, or do they start with quiz directly? So they only open LMS when it's quiz time. Then we can check how many assignment has been done by the students, how many assignments has been done after they are reading the resources, and how many of them has finished or completed the assignments. We can learn a lot about student usage in LMS, and we can also improve our LMS by suggesting or giving some recommendation to the LMS owner. Okay, the next one, we will go through a demo about how we can do process mining in Disco. Before that, can I check if you have any question? Do you have any question, guys?
Everyone, do you have a question so far? Or is it okay to continue the presentation? Maybe you can give us reaction, thumbs up or love, to make sure that you are still there.
It's a good way to check.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, Romario, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
At least we have one. At least we have one that is still awake.
Okay.
Right.
All right, good.
Thank you. Thank you, Bunafin. All right. If you are interested in process mining and try to do it yourself, you can download Disco and this link, fluxicon.com/disco. While you can see me doing the demo with Disco, you can check this page and download simple tools for process mining. I will copy this as well in the chat box before I move my screen to Disco. Okay. We already have the download page in the chat box. You can start downloading if you like, but I will explain first that Disco is one of the simple tools that you can use in process mining. The illustration is shown in the right side, where we can see how the event log has been transformed into process model automatically by Disco. And then we can also do the animation. We can check the statistics, and also we can see in more details for each cases happening in the process. Then when we say that process discovery has been done automatically, it was then using one of the basic algorithm in process mining, which is fuzzy miner. I will not explain more about the algorithm, but at least we know that in Disco we can only use one algorithm, which is fuzzy miner. We cannot choose other algorithm. And then in the demo, we will see how to import an event log. And then we will do process discovery. Then we will analyze the performance and we can check statistic of our process. All right, then I will stop this screen. Then I will go to Disco. Sorry, to stop this first. Okay. Okay. If you already have Disco in your computer, then you will find something like this. In my Disco, I have academic license. If you're from Telkom University, you can input your email address at Telkom University SAID or students.telkomuniversity.ac.id. Then you will go through the email verification process to get your academic license. But if you are from outside Telkom University, you have to check at your university if you have the academic license or not. If no, that's okay. You can use the demo version. So this will be demo term in here. It's not academic, but demo for your site if you only use the demo version. But it's fine for this demo because it's just a simple data that we are analyzing. So in the beginning, the first one that we want to do today is to load or import our event log. I already prepared the event log from the Disco Sandbox. This is an example of data that we want to use to create an event log. The data itself contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. First one is case ID, second one timestamp, the start time, the third one complete timestamp, fourth activity, resources, and roles. So if you remember, first we will need case ID, the second one we need timestamp, but here we have 2 columns of timestamp. You can use both, you can use only one, it's up to you. It depends on what we need in our analysis. For example, here, if we need both of them, then we will check if the pattern has been okay, is it valid or not. Then if all of them match the pattern, then we can use the pattern. And start timestamp is now identified as the timestamp column. Then we also have activity that we can use as activity name, resource, and role. Both are identified as resources, but I want to change, for example, the role here. I will keep it as additional columns. All right. If you already identified the minimum components of your event log, then you can click this button, start import. Then what happened in Disco is they applied fuzzy miner to analyze our event log and get the initial process model. We can see in more details in the first step in the map. We can adjust the details as we need. For example, here we show all activities and we show the minimum paths. You can also reduce the activities that you want to show up to 0%, and then you can also improve the paths until 100%. If we adjust this part into 100% activities and 100% paths, it means that everything, all records in the event log is shown in the process model. Then we can also see many deviations from the main path of the process model. So this example that I'm talking about for now is the purchasing event log from an organization that has purchasing activities. So the first one of this process, it's all start with create purchase requisition. What happened after that? We have two possibilities. The first one would be analyze purchase requisition. The second one would be create request for quotation requester. Then if we choose the analyze purchase requisition, then it can go to create request for quotation requester manager or amend purchase requisition. And so on and so forth until the end of the process where we have invoice has been paid to the requester. Right? What we can learn from this process model are many things. The first one, we know that all requests is started with create purchase requisition. There is no deviation from this type. So maybe the information system has been applied very well to promote create purchase requisition as the first step in this process. And then if we see what is the last activity in the process, it can be pay invoice, but we also have two different paths here, two different arrows that was coming from analyze request for quotation, another one from analyze purchase requisition. So there will be cases where a purchase process was started with create purchase requisition, then analyze purchase requisition, then it's the end. So the analysis of the request, the purchase requisition might be rejected or something like that, then it's done, it's ended in this process. This is the possibility that we can analyze from this process model. Then in Disco, you can also show different metrics to analyze your process. For example, here it is in default will show you the absolute frequency, but you can also show case frequency, and then maximum repetition, and also case coverage. Other than that, we can also add performance metrics like total duration, median duration, mean duration, maximum duration, or minimum duration. For example, if we show mean duration, in the process model, we can find numbers of hours of the mean duration from one activity to another. We can analyze, for example, here we know that activities with the longest duration would be from amend request for quotation requester manager to analyze request for quotation that was in average was then 10.5 days. And then we can also see that there are different colors of the box, meaning that this is taking the longest duration for delivering goods, services, which is in average, they have 25.3 hours, more than 1 day. We can also click here to see the frequency, absolute one, case frequency, maximum repetition, and case coverage, and also the performance. Okay, this is the first tab that we can see the map or process map of our process model. You can also animate to see what is actually happening in the flow of the process. For example, here I can do this to see how was the case happening to the system from time to time. Okay, for people who is working in this area in the process that we are analyzing, there's something sometimes important for them to see how is the flow happening in the system. For example, here, if we don't know what is happening here, but we can see that there are some cases happening very slow in this part, and then they are getting faster towards the end of the process. If we know in more detail about the process, about the activities, then we can check what is happening here, why it took so long to move to the next activity. Okay, I will stop the animation. Okay, this is the first tab, the first functionality in Disco. The second one is statistics. In this tab, in the statistic tab, you can find lots of information on the process that we are analyzing. First one is the global statistic, where we can see how was the events happening over time. We can see that we have an event log that is started on the 1st January 2011 and ended in 14th of October 2011. So it's 10 months long event log. Then you can see that most of the events are happening in the beginning of the on the duration, yeah, from January to maybe around March. Then we have in average we have half of events happening after that from March to October. You can also see the active cases over time, case variance, events per case duration, case utilization, mean waiting time as well. We can check on the activity. We can check on the resources. Because we set one column as the resource, then we can see the statistic of the resources. For example, here we can analyze who is the most busy, the busiest resource in this process. You can see based on the frequency, based on the relative frequency, based on the median duration, based on the mean duration, or the duration range. And then we can also see statistics of the roles. There are 5 different roles in this process: purchasing agents, requester, financial manager, and requester manager, and also supplier. We can see that the purchasing agent is the one who has a very frequent activities in this process, and supplier is the least frequent activities in this process. Right, and then the third one is the cases. We have to check on the statistic first. We have 9,000, more than 9,000 events. Then we have 608 cases. If it is talking about purchasing, then we have 608 purchases or case in our case study. So the complete log contains of 608 cases. Then we have 98 variants. Variants meaning different flow between activities in this process. So we have variant 1, where create purchase requisition followed by analyze purchase requisition, followed by create request for quotation requester manager, and so on until pay invoice in the end of the process. And this first variant was followed by 88 cases, 14.47%. You can find different variants here until the last one, variant 98, that only consists of one case where they have 29 events from create purchase requisition to pay invoice. Right? After that, if we want to analyze in more details, we can do some filtering. For example here, if we see the process model, we look that the more complicated one was in the beginning of the process, right? So down there it's quite linear, but in the beginning we have a lot of things happening. For example, if we want to see more what happening here, we can filter our view to stop on the create quotation comparison map. So we want to filter from create purchase requisition to create quotation comparison map. We can click this one, filter. We add filter for the endpoints. We will trim what happened first in the event. Create quotation comparison map, right? We want to check start from the create purchase requisition. Was it the first one? Sorry, I forgot. Create purchase requisition, right? So I'll do it again. Create purchase requisition and trim first. Create purchase requisition up to create quotation comparison map. I'll click copy up to comparison map. Then we will have a simple, much more simple process model that only shows the first part of the process from create purchase requisition to create quotation comparison map. You can also check what is the performance for each activity and sequence of activities. Right, this is the demo of the Disco as one tool for process mining. Do you have any question? Or can I check, is there any one of you that is trying to install Disco? Are you installing Disco for now? Or do you already have Disco? Can you tell me in the chat box, please? Okay, maybe I will start with asking Bu Novi. Bu Novi, are you installing Disco?
No.
Maybe not. Okay,
I
that's
have
okay.
no idea what is the process mining actually.
Okay, what about the other? The participants, are you trying to install Disco for now? If you have any problem with the installation, I would like to help you. Okay, Bu Novi, how to make them answer my question?
All right. Hello everyone. Are you still in the Zoom with us? Yeah, Miss Angelina, ask you whether you are downloading the Disco application and then having a trouble with the installment, I guess. If you have already download the application, maybe you can give us reaction, thumbs up. And if you have a trouble in downloading, maybe you can raise your hand. So maybe we can discuss together.
Thumbs up. Okay, good.
Hello, the other. How about the others? Welcome, university students. Are you familiar with the Disco application? Hello, guys. Okay.
It's actually a very difficult time for us as well, yeah, Bu Novi, because this is near the weekend, so everyone I think is already planning for what to do in the weekend.
Yeah. TGIF, yeah.
Okay, I think I saw 2 thumbs up. That's good.
Or students, do you have something to share or something to discuss? we are in entering the discussion session actually.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mhm.
If not, then maybe I still have 3 or 4 more slides.
Okay.
I think I will
Yeah, I
show
see.
the
Okay,
next,
okay.
the next
Maybe we
one.
can continue to the presentation session and then let me know
Right.
that it is a discussion session time.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is what we have done before with the demo in Disco. Maybe you need more time to do your exploration with Disco. That's okay. You can always ask me or contact me after the session as well if you like. And then after that, if you need more helps in learning about process mining, because this is something quite new for us, then you can search for lots of helps in the internet from research groups. What is shown here is when I was invited to Manchester to talk to their research group in process mining. But you can also find other research groups that are open for discussion from people around the world. This is from Netherlands, and then from Aachen, from German, and from other research group as well. Then you can also follow seminars, conference, and workshops that are working in process mining. There are a lot of them that you can explore. You can learn what they are working with in process mining. And then if you like something more casual, you can follow process mining camps, summer school, and also cafes where they talk about their implementation of process mining, their research in process mining, but in more casual ways. And then also we can find online supports, which are usually specific to the problems that we have. For example, if you use Disco, then you find some troubles in it, then you can find forums of online supports in Disco websites. That's what we usually do in learning something new in process mining. If you are interested to discuss with us in Telkom University, I usually have a team of people who are interested in process mining. We call ourselves Indonesia Data and Process Science, or IDPS. This is our, we call it Center of Excellence. There are 12 lecturers, and then 8 master students, 6 bachelor students, and also we already have some students that finished their research in process mining. So it's not far from you guys. If you are from Telkom University, you can meet us, you can talk to us about your interest in process mining. If you are interested in doing research in process mining, there are many ways to do this. The first one, maybe you can implement process mining in different domains. I showed you before in education and healthcare and bank. You can also apply it in different case studies. Then you can use process mining for different purposes. For example, you can help us to identify which activities in the process can be automated with robotic process automation. You can also help us doing our project to integrate process mining to other platforms. We are currently working with one company to apply process mining in their platform. And then you can also improve algorithms and methodologies that has been built by others in process mining, in process discovery, or in conformance checking. You can combine process mining with advanced analysis. For example, you can combine process mining with explainable AI, or you can combine process mining with NLP. You can combine process mining with causal analysis, and so on. So this is a lot of potential future work that you can explore if you like to work with process mining. Then this is the last slide actually that I have for you I want to know, what do you want to know more about process mining? So please join me in Menti again, so that I can understand what you are interested in this process mining session. I will share with you in the chat box the link to the last Menti. And then I will share the result with you in a moment. Wait. Okay. Now I can share it with you. Okay, you can also go to menti.com and use the code 76544307. This is your last chance to tell me what you want to know about process mining. So please join and give your response to this question. Okay, do's and don'ts for learning process mining. Okay, maybe while waiting, I will answer the first one. What to do and what not to do while learning about process mining. You have to be very open to the people that is talking with you about the process, because as a computer scientist, we cannot work alone. We cannot work with our staff, with our friends with the same background to do process mining, because we have to be able to understand the process, and the process owner is the best source to understand the process. So if you want to analyze healthcare processes, then you have to talk to healthcare people. If you want to know more about educational processes, then you have to talk to the lecturer, to the students who are using the LMS and the learning system. And then if you need the data from them, it's actually tricky, because sometimes they will say that, no, we don't have that kind of data. You can start by asking them, do they use information system? Do they use software system to help them doing their job? If yes, then that's a good answer, because they usually have the log, or they actually have the data, but they don't realize that. Okay, don't work by yourself. Of course, you have to talk to the process owner to make sure that you know the process well, right? The second one, the most efficient way to handle data in a company by using process mining. The most efficient way to handle data in a company by using process mining. Right, thank you. This is actually very tricky as well. It's very good, because the first thing that we need to make sure is that the data is properly managed in the company. Sometimes we know that a company may be taking care of their data very well. So when we do process mining, we can get a high quality data. We can analyze them to get a good insights. But some other companies might not care about the data. They found it hard to manage the data. That's what is our challenge, our first challenge in analyzing data. And then The third one, for organizations that are new to process mining, what advice do you have to successful implementation? And what initial steps should they prioritize? Okay, thank you. This is very good as well. The challenge to introduce something new to organizations are usually they will ask what is the benefit for them to implement something new that they don't know. If you want to introduce process mining to a company, we usually start with explaining the benefit. Then we will say, you have processes in your company, then we need to analyze them. How to analyze them, I will show you how. So I give them explanation about the benefit, then make sure that they understand it is important to analyze their process. Then we show how to do it with process mining. This is what we usually do when we approach a new company to analyze their data with process mining. And then is process mining applicable in domains like security, for example, detecting potential hackers? What about networking measurement, like improving network performance? Of course, yes, it is very applicable in domains like security, because if you realize event log in many organizations and many companies are usually in the form of web log. So if you can access their web log, you will be able to analyze their process. You can analyze any different processes that is legitimate and not legitimate. Then you can find illegitimate one will lead to potential hackers and so on. Then you can suggest, you can recommend them to improve their system to make sure that only the legitimate processes will be acceptable in the system. What about networking measurement, like improving network performance? It can be done after we have the process model, then we can analyze them. We can make sure that everyone knows what is happening to the system with the process. Then we can say that if you not care about differentiation happening to the process, then it might decrease the performance of the network, something like that. Is process mining can be used for cryptocurrency transaction analysis and investigation? That's very good question. Actually, last year, we have a preliminary work in this area, but then because the student who was working with this decided not to continue that, then we have to stop. But if you're interested, we can talk more, because yes, we can use process mining for analyzing transaction in cryptocurrency. Then we can investigate in many different ways. We can check on what is benefiting different parts of the cryptocurrency transactions. And then what are some common misconceptions that people might have about process mining? For me, it sounds like a hard topic, but it is also interesting too. Can you provide tips on how to ace this subject? Okay, thank you. Common misconception. When you heard the term process mining, most people think that this is process of data mining. But I hope that after this course, all of you know that it's not data mining. It is related to data mining, where we analyze data to understand something, to get insights. But we are not doing the common things in data mining. We are not doing, as I said, classification, association, clustering. We didn't do that. But we analyze the process behind the data. We analyze the variations of the process, and we analyze who did what at what time to improve the process. The tips to ace this subject is to separate your mind from data mining in general, because we are doing something different. We are analyzing data from the point of view of process improvement. Okay, Any more questions? Any more things that you want to know about process mining? You can also ask me directly if you like. I think I saw one question in the chat box. I know there's no one. Okay, so that's all, I think. Is there any more question from you guys?
Anyone?
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry, Bu Novi. I think the 6 questions here is very good. They are representatives of your questions from all participants, I think, because this is something new from us, from most of the participants, that the points that they want to know is usually what is said, how to use it, how to start working with it, something like that. Thank you, Bu Novi.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Ima, for the presentation and for the discussion. Yeah, so actually, this discussion is already employed, yeah, in the Mentimeter. But students, if you still have a question that you want to ask to our speaker, maybe you can ask directly, or maybe you can type your question in the chat. We are still entering a discussion session. Or is it clear enough, students? If you think that the presentation or the explanation is clear, so can you please give us reaction again so we can continue or wrap up this session? Okay. So 3 thumbs up. Okay. Okay. So so it can be concluded that all students have a clear understanding about our topic today. So I guess we can wrap up our session, Miss Ima. Is it okay?
Yes, that's okay, Bu Novi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Ima, for the discussion. And everyone, yeah, the presentation and discussion session is very interesting. That I believe that it will enrich our knowledge and understanding on the process mining. And I hope the speaker did not mind to receive following up question afterwards. Yeah, maybe students can contact Miss Ima or me to deliver your question, and then I will forward the question to Miss Ima. And yeah, thank you so much. But before we end the session, we're going to have a photo session. So please, everyone, turn on your camera. We will have a photo session together. Okay, students, please turn on your camera. So I didn't recognize female students here. Come on, Nur Atira, maybe Aliza, Nurul. Okay, Miss Azima, thank you for joining us. Okay, we wait 1 more minute, students. 1 Alpha, come on. Iqbal, Nurul, Nur Atira, are you there? Come on, please turn on your camera. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we are ready to take the pictures. So everyone put your best smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you. And one more time, freestyle. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much. And yeah, we came to the end of the session. So, Ms. Nur Azimat, do we have attendance list link to share to the students?
Yes, the attendance is the link that I give to you. Yeah, I think you can paste it in the chat box, maybe. Is it okay? Before they
Okay.
leave.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this is the link for attendance list, everyone. So I have shared in a chat. So please fill out the attendance link. Yeah, so as your evidence of your participation today. And once again, Ibu Ima, thank you so much for sharing your meaningful material to us. And Ms. Nur Azima, thank you so much for attending the session. And students from the university, Telkom University or UITM or other university, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your attention. And I bid you a goodbye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Miss Novi. Thank you, Miss Angelina, Doctor. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.